Hey everybody, this is Total Gamer Junkie and I'll welcome you all back to my channel. Now before this video starts, I just want to let you all know I actually have done my Life is Strange for 20-minute gameplay video reaction, but I haven't uploaded it yet because I haven't had the time. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about every single theory I have for The Walking Dead, the final season. Now, there's not much information to be based off. So this is merely this theory and speculation. So let's get started. Now, this is one of my first theories. How long will Lilly stay alive for in the final season? Now, if she will be returning in episode 2, and that's not like a guess, that's an actual fact. There's a YouTube channel called Smack and Pie, and they got leaked stuff. I'd recommend checking out their channel because this is where I'm getting like some information off it from. And there was a screenshot of what Lily looked like, and she had shorter hair. So I'll leave a link to their channel in the description, so you be sure to check them out too. Okay, so I do believe that Lily will be alive for episode 2, 3, and 4. And at the end of the 4th episode, there might be an option, like, for her to die. You know how, like not an option to kill her, but there might be an option where she dies. You know, like in the New Frontier when you're playing as Harvey, if you go with Kate and Clem's with you, then Gabe and David die. But if you're with Kate and Clem goes after Gabe, then David dies. Just like if you go after Gabe when Clem's with Kate, David will die. But if she's with Harvey, they both will live, but Kate will die. You know, Kate will also go missing if Clem's with her. But yeah, moving on. This is the next video, and this is actually one I have kind of a little evidence, but nothing to support. Is Krista the real returning character? Now, this would actually, in my opinion, be a great move. Now, as we all know, I don't know if any of you noticed, but I know the voice actor for Omid said when Clem and Krista got separated, in the very beginning of the episode, you hear a gunshot, and that gunshot didn't hit her or kill her. Now, I think it would be pretty cool, like, if she's like a raider or something, right? Then she could actually, like, despise Clementine, because if you look back, like, she kind of hates Clem. Like, she gives her these mean looks, like, when you, like, say, I wish Omid was here, or Omid wanted to teach me, she, like, give you these looks of pure hatred. And the fact that she leaves Clementine alone to go find more wood knows that she wants to be by herself, and she doesn't want to be around Clem in case she does something bad, you know. Plus, I read on one of the forums that the Telltale group said one or more returning characters will return from season 1. Now, they could be like, oh no, yeah, the second returning character from season 1 is Clementine. Yeah, they're not going to be like that. But if it is true, I do believe the second returning character will be Krista. Alright, next one I have. What relationship will Clem and Lily have in the final season? Now this is actually very interesting. I think that they can have a kind of Kenny and Lily relationship, you know? Well, not more like Kenny and Lee, you know, depending on your choices, he and Kenny can be good friends or not enemies, but just like not like each other. That would be pretty interesting because really, Clementine hasn't done anything wrong to Lily, so it would stand to reason she'd have no grudge against her. Like, and I just want to point this out. When they do meet up, I bet you she's gonna make a remark about her head ties. You know, like how she has the little bun in her hair, because in episode 3, Clem mentions to Lee after he cuts her hair that Lily gave her ties for her hair. So yeah, I definitely think Lily's gonna mention that and say something like, "Oh, you still have them." Alright, moving on. Now this is actually very interesting, and I want to go into a little depth about this. Will your choices in season 1 determine what type of person Lily will become? I honestly really believe they will. Because as we all know, you have a choice to abandon Lily on the side of the road, or take her with you, but you'll steal the RV. Now, let me give you an example. Let's just say one of the boarding school group does something wrong, and Lily wants to punish him. And depending on whether or not you, as Lee, chose to forgive Lily or not in episode 3 of season 1 will determine whether or not she forgives this person. And that would be pretty interesting. Like, to have a choice so far back, so far back in the past, affect the present. That would be pretty interesting for me. Now, what do you call it? Yeah, like, cause, like, let's just say, for example, Lee helps Kenny kill Lily's dad. Maybe she, like, grows hateful in that, and abandoning her on the side of a road, like, this makes her, like, a ruthless type of leader. Whereas if you tried to save Larry and, don't abandon Lily, like, she could be more of a nice person, like, because she knew about Lee's past because Larry told her, and, like, he tried to help Larry live in the end in one of those choices. So maybe she could be, like, willing to give people second chances and all that. Yeah, well, that's all I have to say for that one. Moving on to my second last one. Will Clem have the choice of choosing between Lily's group and the boarding school group? This, right here, I would love for this to be in the game. Because one of the things that really disappointed me in season 2 was Kenny and Luke. Now, I loved in episode 2, they were practically building off that tension, okay? Who you choose to sit with, and then you had to keep choosing sides. Like, do you watch Kenny kill Carver or go off with Luke? And then there's even, like, you can argue with Luke and say, like, no, Kenny's helping us. Like, even after Rebecca gives birth to AJ, you can choose to leave in the morning or stay a few days, and then you can tell they're like, something's gonna happen. But episode 5 sadly had a new writer, so we never got to see that. I personally would have loved to see that build up happen, for them to go at each other's throats, and Clem would have to choose, like, let's just say, because they're all headed to that chapel place, whatever it was called, at the end of episode 4. Let's just say Luke and Kenny would have gotten into a fight, and Clem would have had to choose, like, who to save, because maybe the fighting drew a bunch of walkers, they burst in, and you had the kind of Doug and Carly situation from episode 1 of season 1 in the drugstore, where you had to choose who to save. Now, let's just say, like, something like that could happen, like, maybe the boarding school does a similar choice to that. The group's all eating their food and that, and Clem can go sit with Violet or Lewis, you know, like, maybe the romance options have progressed a little further in that, and but, like, Lily's like, you can sit over here. I was like, let's catch up, and so you could actually choose to sit with Lily, and Violet or Lewis or whoever it is could feel hurt about that. Like, maybe as you go down the line, the boarding school's group and Lily's group will become, like, more and more infighting in that, because they would most likely be all full of adults, and they would still regard the boarding school group as children, because they basically are, like, 17, and I don't think none of them are 18. Yeah, definitely 10's not 18, he's like 10 or 11. So yeah, maybe in the end, Clem would choose which group she goes with. You know, does she stay at the boarding school, or does she go off with Lily's group? I personally would like to see that happen. And so this is my last one. Is Abel part of Lily's group? Now, I honestly 100% believe he is not, and this is why. In the New Frontier, you know, in episode 1, at the end of episode 1, Mariana gets shot in the head. That's by the New Frontier. And at the end of episode 1, part 2, I'm not calling it episode 2, because I do believe parts could be, like, fully together, you know. At the end of episode 1, part 2, we discover that David is the leader of Richmond. Now, Richmond, from what Jesus said, is a place that loots other cities in that. Not cities, but, you know, little small settlements, towns, communities. So he's come there to stop it. And then you find out David, Javier's brother, is running things. Now, obviously, he wouldn't kill his own daughter, but, like, it makes you think that he's a part of the looting. Just like that flashback in episode 2 where AJ gets taken from Clem, and yes, it's episode 2 because part 1 and 2 are one episode together, at least that's my theory. So yeah, after he takes AJ from Clem, you starting to think, oh, this guy's a real asshole, and then you get the theory in your head that, yeah, you know, since he's taken AJ, he's obviously been part of looting and raiding and taking other people's stuff, but that wasn't the case. He had no idea that Joan was running the whole operation on the side. Now, I do believe that Abel is a raider, but he is part of another raiding group, right? And so you'll have to help. Lily's group fight them. Now, I believe if this fight does happen, I think it would happen towards either. I think it would end. The fighting would end either at the end of episode 3 or the beginning of episode 4, and that way, at the let's just say at the beginning of episode 4, like after all the fighting's done, you got to rebuild in that, and Clem can choose which group she wants her and AJ to stay at, because it's like a new group that you hardly know versus an old friend that you used to have, and I do believe her and Clem were friends. Like I said before, Lily had no grudges against Clementine, so it'd be choosing between something new and something old and familiar. So yeah, I do believe that will be a choice at the end whatsoever, because this game will, without a doubt, 100% have multiple endings. So who's to say this couldn't be one of them? Alright, so that's every theory that I've come up with that isn't online. You know, I've checked, unless they're online now when I'm done this video. So let me all know what you think in the comments below, and if there are any other theory videos you want me to cover that you haven't seen online, let me know, and I'll do my best to come up with my own explanations for them. This is Total Gamer Junkie signing off.